Today is day 2 of Who is the Government, and we're going to learn about the different people that work in the different branches of government. This is really important because all the different branches have different powers given by the Constitution, but all the branches are responsible for protecting their citizens. So if a certain branch of government isn't doing their job, we need to know who to hold accountable. So first, let's look at the executive branch. Once the legislative branch, the lawmakers, the Congress, makes a law, the executive branch is in charge of enforcing that law. Today we're going to meet the executive branch, the enforcers. And first on the list in the executive branch is the president. The president is the leader of the federal government. What does federal government mean? Well, federal means the whole country. I'm not talking about the government of New Orleans or the government of Louisiana, but the government of the whole country. All 50 states, from California to New York. The president's term or job lasts 4 years. Now, the president has special powers that it uses to enforce the laws. It can appoint judges, meaning it picks the judges, and it can also veto or sign laws. That means it will reject or approve laws that are passed by the legislature. Now, every part of the government has a power source. If the government has the power to make decisions, where does that power come from? Well, first, it's the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution gives every member of the government their power. It says exactly what they are and are not allowed to do. And the president also has a power source, which is the people. The president gets his job because he's elected by the people. So the people can elect this president to do their job and make these decisions, or they can elect someone else to make those decisions. Next, we're going to talk about the governor. The governor is the leader of the state government. So Louisiana will have a governor, Texas will have a governor, each of the different states will have a governor. The governor's job or term lasts 4 years. The special power is also to veto or reject or sign state laws. And also the power sources are the Constitution of the state and the citizens of the state. Now, we might wonder, why do different states need their own governments and governors? Well, here in Louisiana, we have our own government, our own lawmakers, and our own governor, Bobby Jindal. He's the leader of his state government. If you go over to Texas, they have their own state government with their own leader, Greg Abbott. Now, why do these different states need their own governors? Well, remember that these different states are in different regions. It comes back to regions. So Louisiana is part of the Southeast region, and they have to worry about flooding. So the governor of Louisiana is going to have to protect its citizens from flooding. In Texas, they're part of the Southwest region, and the Southwest region has to worry more about droughts and lack of water, not flooding. So Greg Abbott, the leader of the Texas government, needs to protect his citizens from drought. So we see different states have citizens with different needs, so they need different governments to protect those citizens. Now that we find out who is enforcing these laws, let's go back to who's making these laws in the first place, the legislative branch. Let's meet the legislative branch, the lawmakers. The legislative branch is a big group of people. In fact, it's 2 big groups of people. They split it into 2 parts, the House of Representatives and the Senate. First is the lower house, the House of Representatives, and they have the power to make laws. They only keep their job for 2 years. Their powers are also laid out in the Constitution, and they are also elected by the people. Now remember, we said that the legislative branches are split into 2 parts, all right? So the House of Representatives can't make laws alone. They have to come into agreement with the other house in the legislative branch, the Senate. The Senate is the upper house of Congress. They have the special power of making laws. Their term lasts 6 years, and their power sources are also the U.S. Constitution and the United States people. Now let's move over to the judicial branch and meet the judges. The judges decide if laws are fair, and the different judges and all over the country work together, and if they have a disagreement, then that goes to the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court. Supreme Court decides if laws are fair for the whole country, and the Supreme Court keeps its job for life. That means once you're a member of the Supreme Court, you can be there until you die. Now, the power sources are a little different. The U.S. Constitution, of course, says what the judges can and cannot do. But they don't get their power from the people directly. They're picked or appointed by the president. So judges get their power from the president. Same thing with the Chief Justice or the leader of the Supreme Court. He gets his power from the president. Use this information to fill out the chart on your worksheet. All right, now you've gotten a chance to see who the different people in government are, so you know who to hold responsible if they're not doing their job. We're going to talk about this more next time, and you're going to hear it from not just me. Maybe you don't get it when I say it. I'm going to give you some more information so you learn this next time.